Power Rangers is a 2017 reboot of the famed kids franchise that has us following a group of teenagers who gain newfound powers and must save their city from the evil, mysterious Rita. What did you think of Power Rangers?
Growing up as a young father, I had Power Rangers all over my house. Mm-hmm. Power Rangers was always on TV. We saw the original movies. We saw the, what was the other one? Turbo.
Turbo, yeah.
Yeah. And I enjoyed all of them. It was always great. And I always enjoyed watching them with you.
Let me get the door.
I gotta admit, when it first came out, I didn't like it. And it didn't have the kind of like charm the original series and the original actors had. God bless Amy Jo Johnson. Watching this again was I actually liked it a little better the second time. But with that said, for a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger movie, to wait 1 hour and 31 minutes into a 2 hour and 3 minute movie to show the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was a little bit ridiculous to me.
Yeah, that's funny. You know what's not funny? This was supposed to be your season.
They spent way too long trying to form these kids as a team.
Yeah.
To help lead this team.
Your team's dead. And you're just as scared as we are.
I actually really enjoyed this movie, but I think the problem is two-sided. Is one, it takes too long for them to become the Power Rangers, and the second part is when they become the Power Rangers, I feel like the movie isn't as good. The first 60% of this movie is like the Breakfast Club meets Power Rangers. And it has this like really kind of, angsty teenagers trying to find their way. And it really works. But then the moment they become the Power Rangers and they almost immediately jump into this massive climax.
That's what she said.
I kind of lost interest. It just kind of became like how the Avengers movies is just CGI shit, just smacking each other, and that's exactly what it was.
They just keep coming. There's too many of them. You guys hold them off.
The movie could have been chopped off in the first few minutes, finding out what Dacre Montgomery, who played the wonderful Billy in Stranger Things, his Jason character, the trouble he got into, and all the shit, how they ended up in detention together, which is obviously the Breakfast Club reference.
Yeah. Anytime you're ready, pal.
Dumb can you be? Did you just slap me?
There's a lot of the movies that do this where, I'm even going to make fun of my famed Goonies, where there's like a treasure and there's the MacGuffin here, and it's like, well, how did these coins get over there, and then how did the ship get down that far? I'm going to get lost in the weeds here, but there's a lot of that filler in the first hour and a half, first 91 minutes that could have been streamed down, and then we could have got more, because all we really did is we got one massive battle between the Power Rangers in armor and the Zords and the Megazord between Rita Repulsa and her Goldar thing.
Right.
I'm going to pick on this too. Did they really save Angel Grove? Because I don't think there was much left of it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Superman.
From Man of Steel. Yeah.
Man of Steel. There wasn't much of the town left when they were done.
I told you it'd be famous.
I think the best point for this movie for me was the cast. I think Dacre Montgomery is how you say his name. He was Dacre Montgomery. He's great.
How old are you, 5? Hi, I'm Jason. It's my first time here. It's exciting. And you must be the bully of detention.
And the kid that plays Billy Cranston, his name's, I think, R.J. Kyler, something like that. Seiler. He plays Billy, and he's on the spectrum, and he's fantastic. I love the cast. I think they're all great.
I'm on the spectrum.
Well, is that like a workout program? Like Tybo?
No, it's a diagnosis.
Bryan Cranston is Zordon. I mean, Bryan Cranston was in it, and Bill Hader was
Yeah.
So, and I think they're it was great. They're almost like voiceovers, I guess, but they did a great job.
I died burying those coins in hopes that they would find the next real Rangers.
I think the actresses did a great job. But one of them's a singer. The one that plays Trini she's a singer of some sort.
So much of it's I really like the concept designs, how they did Zordon, the opening like 5 minutes of the Power Rangers, the Alien Power Ranger versions is super badass. It's like really intense, and a lot of the concept designs is really cool. From the suit design, I really like the Zords is really cool. The way they did Rita, the way they did Zordon. I'm a little mixed on Alpha. I think they could have made Alpha a little boxier, and I just, as you mentioned before, I grew up heavily obsessed into Power Rangers, and it was something I was super excited for. And so I did enjoy the little callbacks. They played the music. You get to see
the music.
And you have 2 cameos from Jason David Frank, rest in peace, and Amy Jo Johnson and the crowd, which is kind of silly. But I feel like half the movie doesn't want to be a Power Rangers movie, and the other half is like, oh shit, we're in these goofy suits smacking shit. And you kind of lose a little the luster a little bit. Yeah, and it was weird too, because there was times where, and you can 100% pick on me, where I'm like, I can't tell if the suits were actual suits or CGI. And then there was times where it was just full-on CGI, and I'm like, it would have been really cool if they could have just found ways to have great stunt performers like the shows in these really cool suits fighting, I don't know, stunt performers in putty outfits, but better, obviously, and done that. That way you kind of get that impact, because like I said, when you get those CGI fight scenes, it just looks like shit on the screen. It's just CGI garbage on the screen, and it doesn't always work.
I can't see fucking shit out of this thing.
The movie cost $100 million. Saban wanted to create this massive franchise, and
because there was an after credit scene where you would have had the Green Ranger,
Tommy,
Tommy's character. What they were calling his name in detention,
Tommy Oliver.
So I think there was supposed to be maybe another one that never saw the light.
Yeah, I mean, it cost $100 million. I think it made $140 million worldwide. I think, honestly, if they could have found a way to get it to 60 or 70, it would have been better. The reception was pretty right down the line. It was like 51% on Rotten Tomatoes, and they had a sequel kind of lined up. Then it got canceled, and then last I checked, Saban was sold or bought by Hasbro. They're on their, I think, like 30th incarnation of Power Rangers, which... I have this great nostalgic enjoyment of rewatching Power Ranger openings. And I'll watch the new ones, and even those I feel like completely lack any creativity or luster. The music's terrible. It looks so phoned in.
I hadn't realized this, but the last Power Ranger movie was the Turbo movie in 1997, and I actually enjoyed that movie too. That was a really good one as well.
Yeah, and I think those the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers that came out in the early 90s, and then that one, they basically knew what they were but had a bigger budget. And I feel like this one is really trying to be, I mean, they even mentioned multiple times how they're like superheroes. It feels very much like, what if we took the Power Rangers and made it into Chronicle? But you can't get away from the fact that you have people in goofy colored suits fighting each other, and that's fine, but that's what it is.
In the trivia aspect of this, it said that the director Dean Israelite, he wanted to ground the story in reality and explore the personalized more than the show did by giving the movie a more mature tone as compared to the original series. So I think he was trying to shoot for that kind of Breakfast Club thing, but it's like, okay, but then kind of sprinkle in some of the Power Ranger stuff,
right?
You know, them in their suits and whatnot. Don't blow
me. That's what she said.
The reveal at the last quarter of the movie.
Well, and I think the other problem too that coincides with the budget and sort of the writing too is they make the superhero movie mistake of the doomsday plot, is that
you must protect the Zeo Crystal and life on Earth.
It doesn't work. It should have been smaller, and Rita, who's played by Elizabeth Banks, is just going all in.
I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
She's so hammy. There are scenes where it really works. Like the opening scene with her, the opening two scenes are so damn creepy. And then it goes, like when they reveal, that's when it goes too hammy.
How cute. The Rangers found their costumes in their dino cars.
The reason you hire Elizabeth Banks to be in this role is to have Elizabeth Banks be Elizabeth Banks.
Welcome, welcome. Happy Hunger Games. And may the odds be ever in your favor.
Kind of snarky, kind of sarcastic, but funny character.
It's a Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kreme. This is a special place.
Very special.
It must be.
Apparently, she instead wanted to shoot more for 50s style villainesses kind of thing. Yeah.
I mean, again, I did like the design of her suit because she was the former Green Ranger, so her suit was kind of resembling that, but evil had taken over. And cool, and it kind of works up until it just doesn't. And, the joke becomes, which at least it's sort of funny, but the joke becomes, we got to get the Krispy Kreme.
Zeo Crystal.
As usual on Lost and Found, we sum it up with Lost, you just leave it to the streaming garbage. Or Found, you go out and find it on a weekend watch. Where are we putting this one, Pop?
Ooh, I'm 50-50 on this one. I'm really torn. I think it has some merit of, if you've never seen it, maybe give it a shot. If you've seen it, it really depends on your nostalgia and your reach to maybe live the heydays of the Power Rangers. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I definitely enjoyed this one more. I think the first 60% of the movie, the Breakfast Club mixed with the Chronicle feeling, I really enjoyed. It's when the conflict climax actually happens that the movie just kind of falls apart for me. And that's ironically when the Power Rangers come in. So I'm like, I don't know where you go with this one. I say ultimately I would go watch it regardless. I did enjoy majority of the movie.
It's morphin' time.
There's times when it is pretty funny. The cast is very charming. I think they did a great job casting just about everybody. And it's 2 hours. It's schlocky. It's Power Rangers, so you know what you're getting into. As usual, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave your suggestions for future episodes, and thank you for following us along this Lost and Found path. And we hope to see you guys on the next one.
Thanks, guys.